threat environment, as Chief Shell has just alluded to, is quite different this year than it was last year. And so part of our preparation falls very heavily in the intelligence realm.
Alyssa Palicelli joins us from the east side, where the UN is going to be getting underway shortly. Good morning again, Alyssa.
Good morning, Jamie. The General Assembly has been underway for a couple of weeks now, but this week is when about 75% of heads of state and other dignitaries are in the city, which is why it is such a high security event. There's a bus behind me, but I'll step out of the shot once it moves out of the way to show you one of the checkpoints here along 2nd Avenue. It is something that there are checkpoints all along the area right immediately around the United Nations because of all of the heavy activity moving in and out of this area. And that's why it's going to cause you a really big slowdown if you are driving in this area. Officials say it goes as slow as 4 miles per hour. This bus should be moving out of the way momentarily, and I'll show you where there is a setup here on the corner of 42nd Street and 2nd Avenue. You can see the checkpoint. They're only allowing authorized personnel there. They have a sanitation truck blocking the block. They have an NYPD checkpoint there to make sure only those who are allowed to be over there are getting in through that way. That is the level of security we are seeing. There's going to be extra traffic agents around the east side to help move things along, but the Department of Transportation says that it's going to take you a long time to get around the area this week. Now, because of all of this movement coming in and out of the area, you can expect intermediate closures, even unannounced closures from the area of about 60th Street down to 34th Street, from 3rd Avenue over to the FDR, including the FDR as well. But there are dignitaries and heads of state staying at different hotels and different embassies all around the city, so these can really pop up anywhere. So it's going to be tough to get around all week. That is why they're saying take mass transit if you can. Today, the Summit of the Future continues. Notable speakers include Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, as well as Secretary of State Antony Blinken. Tomorrow, that's when President Biden is expected to address the Assembly in general, and this is when he is expected to make his final appearance as president on a global stage. It's expected to be that, at least for what we know coming up in the future. And on Friday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is also expected to speak. Obviously, there is a lot of controversy going around in the world. Climate change is a big focus of this year's summit, as well as the wars in Ukraine, Gaza, and Sudan as well. So that is why security is tighter than ever.
Simply put, this is the largest annual gathering of global leaders on the planet. And given the enormity of this event and the importance of role in global affairs, the Department of Homeland Security has given it the designation of National Special Security Event.
So because of all the things going on all around the world, not only is there a lot of security focus on the UN, the Assembly itself, and moving people in and out of the area, it's also the anticipated protests that have happened already as this Assembly is underway, and all the ones that they are anticipating happening over the next week or so. So there's going to be a lot of security in and around the UN and around any of those planned or unplanned protests that pop up throughout the week, Jamie.
All right, Alyssa, we will be following it. Everything happening inside, everything happening outside. We'll check